to this short video where we describe something about leadership. Now, having worked with directors and some of the top managers within the leading corporations across the UK and indeed sort of globally, it's become more and more apparent in terms of what really sets them apart and the pace they grow at is how effective they are as leaders. Now today I'm joined by Rakesh, Sondhi, founder of BMC, Global Services at BMC College of Leadership, one of the real thought leaders in this whole field around leadership and strategy. So I'm going to ask him a few questions, and again he can explain a bit more about leadership. So Rakesh, tell me, what makes a great leader?
The thing that really distinguishes a great leader from your average leader is that they have the ability to firstly take on the pressure and perform under pressure. Outstanding leaders actually grow when they're under stress and under heavy pressure situations. You also find that they have that ability to motivate and drive their team under pressure. They have that ability to pull other people along under those kind of circumstances. In a way, what they're very good at is actually taking on the pressure of the team on themselves so that the team can actually focus on what needs to be done. You know, if you look at some of the great leaders, what they're great at doing is taking all the stress, taking all the pressure that might be placed on the team and allow the team to actually perform. In business, unfortunately, in a lot of instances, what leaders tend to do is put all the pressure back on the team. And as a result, the team usually doesn't have that ability to respond. They're not being trained to respond in that kind of situation. So what makes the great leader is someone who, under that kind of situation, still can remain calm, takes the pressure on, and responds in a way which actually is great at motivating other people so that they get the desired outcome.
Okay. So, can these leadership skills be developed? Indeed, how do you actually develop these leadership skills?
It's a good question. You know, there's always been that argument, what's the difference between, are leaders born or are they made? And I think it's really a combination of the two. And obviously, when you're selling leadership development services, as far as you're concerned, they're always there to be made. Leaders are always there to be made. The skill is how you recreate the pressures that leaders actually face under real life situations and allow them in that laboratory to explore what their natural responses are to that particular situation, and then teach them how to actually adapt their natural responses and actually nurture some of the capabilities that they have within themselves for those particular situations. You're also trying to recreate the pressures of that type of scenario, different scenarios, and really test what their natural first-time responses actually are. Now that means you have to place them in environments which are going to take them outside their comfort zones. And what we try to do is recreate different situations, different scenarios, which takes someone outside something they've actually been generally comfortable with, and see what their responses are. In business, unfortunately, what tends to happen is that people come up with the same responses for a whole variety of situations. The reality is that every situation is different, and you need to be fairly adaptive in the way that you actually respond to those situations.
So, as a result of what you just said, a combination of BMC together with high growth have developed an inspiring weekend, which we call the actual Leadership Bootcamp. Why should people go on this bootcamp?
Essentially, the bootcamp, if you explore the words bootcamp and what the picture it actually creates, you're looking at trying to put and recreate situations in different environments, not just the business environment, different environments which takes people outside their comfort zones. And it's really to stretch them beyond what they would normally face in a traditional classroom environment. By doing that, we can observe what the responses are. By videotaping, we can see what kind of responses they have so that they can actually view themselves, analyse what their responses are, why they respond in that particular way. One of the key philosophies we have in terms of the whole area of leadership development is how do we actually create a learning environment where there is actually true behavioural change. And the way that we do that is by placing people in practical exercises that takes them outside their comfort zones. Because ultimately, what we're trying to do is improve performance under pressure. That means we have to recreate some kind of pressure. We have to recreate the neurological responses that a leader typically would have when they're placed outside their comfort zones. Because really, when the leader is in their comfort zone, the reality is that actually the leadership's not really truly required. Leadership comes out when there are problems, when there are challenges, and the only time there are problems and challenges is when the leader's placed outside their comfort zone. That's when you see the true qualities of a leader, the adaptability of the leader. So what we try to do through the boot camps is actually create an environment that takes them outside their comfort zones, explores what their natural responses are. We then analyse why their responses are the way that they are, and then from that we build strategies and practices to actually adapt that. So by the end of the boot camp, we've actually sort of started to develop some of the traits that the individual will find most appropriate for their style of leadership.
So the leadership boot camps will occur throughout the year. To find out more, visit our website today.